Tonight, breaking news just a short time ago, Ukraine's President Zelenskyy here in the U.S. pleading for help. Funding halted by Republicans and their demands. President Biden saying it's shocking it's gotten to this point. Also breaking as we come on tonight, U.S. officials now confirming to ABC News that Israel has begun flooding the Hamas tunnels to destroy them and Hamas. But what about any hostages who might have been held in those tunnels? First tonight, President Biden and President Zelenskyy before the cameras late today pleading for help from Congress in passing new funding. But tonight, House and Senate Republicans blocking that help. President Biden warning failing to help Ukraine will, quote, give Vladimir Putin the greatest Christmas gift they can possibly give him. Mary Bruce standing by live at the White House. Also, this major headline from the Israel-Hamas war tonight. 2 U.S. officials now confirming to ABC News that the Israeli military has in fact started pumping water into those tunnels run by Hamas. James Longman standing by with late reporting from Israel. Back in the U.S. tonight, and the deeply personal issue of abortion and the young pregnant wife in Texas, her health in danger. Tonight, the Texas Supreme Court has now ruled against that mother and against the judge who said that young mother should be allowed to get an abortion. So what now? Rachel Scott tonight. In New York City, the new images of that apartment building, the collapse, and what we've now learned about the urgent pleas from people who lived there long before the collapse. Tonight, how much will Rudy Giuliani be forced to pay? The emotional testimony today in the defamation case against Giuliani. Former election worker Shay Moss taking the stand, saying she and her mother feared for their lives. And tonight, the judge now accusing Giuliani of defaming them again. Tonight, we're learning about a Delta passenger flight to the U.S. that was stranded. 270 passengers landing in a remote town in Canada. We're tracking brutal cold from the Dakotas to Georgia to the Northeast. And tonight, the new long-range forecast is now in for Christmas. What to expect across the country, we'll take you through it. And our Made in America Christmas is back tonight. We take you to the famous windows on 5th Avenue here in New York City. And the family we found, the mother with tears in her eyes.
I know you are.
Her remarkable story and her one thing made in America, along with your ideas too, right here tonight.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a very busy Tuesday night. There is breaking news in Israel's war with Hamas. U.S. officials confirming to ABC News tonight that they have begun to flood the Hamas tunnels to destroy them and Hamas. There's also breaking news here in the U.S. Ukraine's President Zelenskyy just moments ago before the cameras in Washington with President Biden with his urgent plea for help from the U.S. in trying to fight off Russia. But that funding is being blocked by Republicans and their demands tonight. President Biden promising the American people will not walk away from Ukraine. But the reality is that funding is being blocked. Republican leaders listening to Zelensky's pleas during meetings on the Hill today, but not moved to act. The president tonight saying those who stand in the way of this urgent help are giving Putin the greatest Christmas gift they can possibly give him. Zelenskyy late today saying we are fighting for us and for you, trying to remind anyone listening of the stakes up against Russia. The Republicans blocking this are saying no more money until the White House does what we want on the border. President Biden arguing help for Ukraine should not be held hostage. Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, leading us off from Washington tonight.
It's a far cry from the hero's welcome he received a year ago, addressing a joint session of Congress. Tonight, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy behind closed doors with lawmakers, pleading for more help against Russia.
Well, Mr. President, welcome back.
In the Oval Office, a warm embrace from President Biden. Biden warning unless Congress approves his request for another $61 billion in aid by the end of the year, Ukraine will run out of money and Russia could win this war.
Putin is banking on the United States failing to deliver for Ukraine. We must prove him wrong. It's stunning that we've gotten to this point.
The president pointing the finger squarely at Republicans.
The host of a Kremlin-run show literally said, and I quote, "Well done, Republicans. That's good for us," end of quote.
Zelenskyy with this plea.
In Ukraine, we are fighting for our country and freedom, and also in Europe, we say for our freedom and yours.
But Republicans won't approve the new aid package unless the president agrees to tough new immigration restrictions.
Our first condition on any national security supplemental spending package is about our own national security first. The border is an absolute catastrophe.
The president says he's willing to compromise, but adding this.
Compromise is how democracy works, and I'm ready and offered compromise already. Holding Ukraine funding hostage in the attempt to force through an extreme Republican partisan agenda on the border is not how it works.
But it does appear to be working, at least for now. Mary Bruce with us live from the White House. And Mary, as you pointed out, what a difference from a year ago when Zelenskyy was welcomed as a hero addressing a joint session of Congress. Instead, his visit this time, he held meetings pleading for more help against Russia. Tonight, it would appear no help before the end of the year, perhaps even longer. The Republicans who are blocking this appear to be digging in here.
David, they are not backing down. And tonight, there is no clear path forward. It is not clear what is going to satisfy Republicans' immigration demands or where the president is willing to compromise. Biden is warning they have to get this done before the holiday. But Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell says that is practically impossible. David.
Mary Bruce leading us off tonight here. Mary, thank you. The other major headline tonight from Israel's war with Hamas. Tonight, U.S. officials now confirming to ABC News the Israeli military has started to pump seawater into the Hamas tunnels under Gaza to destroy them and to chase Hamas fighters out. But of course, there is concern tonight involving the hostages who might have been held in some of those tunnels. ABC's James Longman in Israel again tonight for us.
Tonight, Israel flooding the vast labyrinth of tunnels under Gaza where Hamas leaders are believed to be hiding, according to U.S. officials. This image circulating online shows what appear to be recently laid pipes running from the sea to the shore. The IDF isn't commenting, but Israel's fighting to cripple Hamas's underground tunnel network. But concerns tonight about the safety of the 135 remaining hostages, including Americans, who may remain in those tunnels.
There is assertions being made that they're quite sure there are no hostages in any of these tunnels, but I don't know that for a fact.
And President Biden today with a stark warning to Israel, saying they're starting to lose the world's support because of their, quote, indiscriminate bombing of Gaza. Speaking off camera at a fundraiser, Biden with some of his harshest criticism yet for Prime Minister Netanyahu, calling his government the most conservative in Israel's history. Biden also suggesting the most right-wing Israeli leaders want, quote, retribution, not only against Hamas, but against all Palestinians, saying they don't want a two-state solution. Biden's comments exposing a growing divide between the two leaders. Benjamin Netanyahu saying today he and the president disagree about who will govern Gaza after the war. But Israel's fierce offensive rages on in Gaza. More than 18,000 Palestinians have been killed, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. Rafah is Gaza's last refuge, but Israel struck there today, killing more than 20 people. This man screaming, "Where are my children?" before finally finding his son alive, collapsing to the ground in relief. Millions now displaced, facing the growing threat of disease. The UN says more than half of all Gazans are at risk of starvation. And tonight, Israeli special forces have recovered the bodies of 2 hostages during a dangerous and deadly mission inside Gaza. The flag-draped remains of Eden Zakaria and Ziv Dado here being brought back to Israel. During the operation to recover the hostages, Israel says 2 soldiers were also killed and several more injured.
David, flooding the tunnels has 2 potential consequences. It could contaminate the water system and it could endanger those hostages. There is every chance they're being held in those tunnels. David.
James Longman in Tel Aviv again tonight. Thank you, James. Meanwhile, back here in the U.S. tonight and to the deeply personal issue of abortion and the young pregnant mother in Texas, her health in danger, unable to get an abortion because of the law in that state. And tonight, the Texas Supreme Court has now ruled against that mother and against the judge who said she should be allowed to get the abortion to protect her own health and to be able to have children in the future. So what now? And how many women in other states are now facing the same fate? Again tonight, Rachel Scott.
It was a first-of-its-kind case. A pregnant woman suing her state requesting an emergency abortion. And now the Texas Supreme Court ruling against 31-year-old Kate Cox, whose fetus had a severe condition and little chance of survival.
There's no outcome here, that results in us taking home a healthy baby girl. So it's hard, it's overwhelming.
The Texas Supreme Court saying she didn't qualify for the state's narrow exception to prevent bodily harm or save the life of the mother, stating no one disputes that Ms. Cox's pregnancy has been extremely complicated, but that some difficulties, even serious ones, do not pose the heightened risks to the mother the exception encompasses. Cox going out of state for the procedure. Only 34 abortions have been recorded in Texas so far this year, compared to more than 50,000 in 2020 before that law went into effect. Tonight, several states across the country now grappling with similar abortion restrictions. Today, Arizona's Supreme Court hearing arguments on whether to enact a centuries-old law that would ban abortion at any stage of pregnancy.
For over 100 years, Arizona has fully protected life from the moment of conception.
Abortion is health care. And what that means is that this court's decision will have a profound impact on the ability of pregnant Arizonans to access that health care.
Just moments ago, the president weighing in, calling what is playing out in Texas legal and medical chaos, saying no woman should be forced to go to court or flee her state to get access to health care. David.
Rachel Scott back with us here tonight. Rachel, thank you. And we should point out that Rachel is joining Diane Sawyer for an in-depth report on this deeply personal issue and what many women are now facing. The report on Impact by Nightline, called On the Brink. Diane and Rachel uncovering the harrowing stories of pregnant women who have medical emergencies in states with laws restricting abortions and the physicians caught in the middle. It streams on Hulu beginning Thursday. Rachel, our thanks to you again tonight. We continue with the news here, and in New York City tonight, the new images here of the apartment collapse and now the investigation. More than 130 people are now homeless, as we learn many warned authorities about their concerns over the building before the collapse. Tonight here, new video of the moment a pedestrian sent running as dust and rubble fall to the ground behind him. ABC's Trevor Ault on the scene for us amid these reports of warning signs missed.
New video tonight shows the moment the corner of this 6-story Bronx apartment building came crashing down, narrowly missing this school bus and several bystanders.
It just sounded like a large boom. It's so close to home.
Crews searching for survivors, digging through the rubble by hand for hours. Some spots 12 feet deep. Miraculously, only 2 people suffered minor injuries. Investigators now piecing together how this happened.
When my kids sleep, a big line is a crack, and they just cover with plaster.
The building is more than 100 years old. Records showing its owners had been cited for 178 code violations in the past 2 years, including 7 open violations for the facade that gave way. Building records from 2020 show an inspection found cracked brick and loose, damaged mortar on the facade.
They are not structural violations. I want to be clear, unsafe facade conditions is not the same as an unsafe building.
And David, one of those citations issued last month centered on a missing piece in the scaffolding, and it even warned it could potentially cause a collapse. Now, we have reached out to the owner of this building. We have not yet heard back. David.
Trevor Ault on this again tonight. Trevor, thank you. This evening, we're learning more about a Delta passenger jet on its way to the U.S., stranded in a remote Canadian town for nearly 24 hours. About 270 Delta passengers were on board the flight from Amsterdam to Detroit, forced to divert over a mechanical problem, then the weather, then crew shortages, then the call for another plane. Here's Alex Perez.
Tonight, the FAA is investigating after Delta passengers bound for the U.S. were stranded for nearly 24 hours at this remote military base in Canada. Delta Flight 135 taking off from Amsterdam Sunday, bound for Detroit with 270 passengers on board when the pilots declared an emergency.
The pilot told us that we had to land there because there was a problem with the de-icer for one of the engines.
The plane diverting to Newfoundland, Goose Bay Airport in Canada.
It was one big giant mess. Nobody knew what was going on.
Passengers stuck on the plane for nearly 16 hours before being taken to nearby military barracks, many without luggage or even coats.
I don't know what day it is anymore.
Exhausted passengers finally making it back to Detroit Monday afternoon.
And David, delaying those passengers even more. The crew on the first plane that went to go rescue them timed out. Delta has apologized, and the FAA is now investigating. David?
Quite an ordeal. Alex Perez tonight. Alex, thank you. Tonight, emotional testimony in the defamation case against Rudy Giuliani. A judge already ruling he defamed 2 Georgia elections workers. The trial now is about how much Giuliani should pay. And tonight, the judge now accusing Giuliani of defaming them again. First, after the 2020 election, Giuliani accused Ruby Freeman and her daughter, Shay Moss, without any evidence, of tampering with votes. Giuliani at the time saying they were, quote, passing around USB ports as if they were vials of heroin or cocaine. Shamos today testifying about years of threats and harassment that followed. Giuliani then doubling down on his false claims to our Terry Moran after the trial ended last night, insisting the two women did engage in changing votes. When we come back here tonight, police asking the public for help at this hour, pointing to disturbing video of multiple hit and runs, targeting victims, they say, intentionally. Also tonight, the brutal cold sweeping in and the new outlook tonight for Christmas in this country, and the Russian passenger who flew all the way to the U.S., no ticket, no passport. How did this happen? Tonight, Seattle police are searching for a hit-and-run driver accused of deliberately targeting two victims just one block apart. These images are disturbing. Police say surveillance shows a driver appearing to swerve to hit a woman crossing the street. And then video from inside the car actually posted on social media as this was happening. Those in the car appeared to encourage the driver and laugh about it. Seattle police asking for help in identifying them. A Russian passenger is behind bars tonight after flying from Denmark to L.A. without a ticket or passport. He's pleaded not guilty to being a stowaway. Authorities say he sat in the cabin talking with passengers and crew. He was stopped by U.S. Customs agents. He says he can't remember how he got through security. When we come back here, brutal cold sweeping across the U.S. into the east. And tonight, the new outlook for Christmas across the country. Tonight, tracking the cold, wind chills ranging from the teens to the 30s, from the Dakotas to New York. A new storm with snow and rain from Texas to the Carolinas tomorrow. And long-range forecasters now say most of the country will be warmer than normal for Christmas. When we come back, we take you to the famous windows on Fifth Avenue here in New York City. Our Made in America Christmas is back. Finally tonight, our Made in America Christmas and the family we met on Fifth Avenue.
Tonight, the spectacular display, Saks Fifth Avenue, the famous windows. Our great Made in America Christmas, 12 years and counting now. Walking past those windows, the famous landmarks in those snow globes, the Statue of Liberty, New York's Central Park, the Met. And right across the street, a reminder, the American flag. Let's find gifts made in America. Families from across the country visiting, the father with his little boy on his shoulders, the mother and her son shopping.
Do you already have your list?
Not yet. Look at Mom. She says, don't believe that. And Susan Houston, looking at that light show, and we notice, wiping away her tears.
I'm David Muir.
I know who you are.
You
Watch
do?
you every night.
Susan and her family visiting from Texas, celebrating a milestone.
So I saw it brought some tears to your eyes.
It really did. I recovered from cancer, so this is a big trip for me.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
fantastic. And you're feeling better?
Oh, yes, I'm in remission, so I'm so happy.
What a Christmas gift indeed. In remission after battling stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Saying, stay strong. She beat it. And she knows our show.
Do you think people check the labels as much as they used to?
Maybe my age.
You still do?
I do.
We asked, what's her one thing this year made in America? And tonight, her answer, jalapeno peanut brittle from a company called Nancy's Toffee. And with us tonight, the woman behind the toffee.
Hello, David. I'm coming to you from Arlington, Texas with my Made in America candy.
Nancy Greiser, owner of Nancy's Toffee.
Well, this is the jalapeno peanut brittle, David, and generally when people take a bite of the jalapeno peanut brittle, they'll take a bite and they'll say, what's so, oh.
The spice gets them. And tonight, your ideas coming in too.
Hi, David Muir. Welcome to Worthington, Minnesota.
Bill Keitel and his business, the Buffalo Billfold Company.
Come on in. We want to show you around.
Co-owner and wife, Lori Keitel, adding the finishing touches. 10 workers in all. Camden, Francisco, Celeste, and Julian, and Bill with their billfolds.
Our 2-fold wallet, our 3-fold wallet. Here's the largest one we make. This is called the Hipster.
The Hipster. Handmade handbags, too.
Consider this as a gift option in the near future.
Made in America.
And in Hawaii, on Maui tonight, the company and the faces you met last Christmas before that awful fire. Maui Gold Pineapple. We went back. 51 workers in all.
Aloha, David. It's nice to be on your show again.
General Manager Rudy Giuliani telling us, thankfully, everyone on his team survived, but some of their buildings did not.
We lost our store, our warehouse, and our offices in the Lahaina fires.
But they did not lose their spirit, donating pineapples to food banks and giving 10% of their holiday online sales to local nonprofits.
Made in America!
While back in Texas tonight, Nancy, just finishing a batch of her brittle.
One of these. Oh, there's that Texas kick.
That Texas kick and that Texas family tonight. Mom Susan feeling so much better.
This is a special Christmas for you and your family.
Yes.
You're celebrating your mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and you deserve it.
Oh, thank you.
We're
so
glad
much.
you're feeling better.
Oh, thank you so much.
We just love the families we meet here. Tomorrow night, Oprah is here for Made in America. I'll see you then. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.